Welcome back. Back on the Roadster project. This time, hopefully get the engine, trans in, maybe get it running. I don't know. Let's see. All right, I'm excited about the next few days. We're gonna get this baby rolling. Anyways, if we haven't got you up to speed yet, we got a 250 6-cylinder Chevrolet out of a square body, 4-speed, same action, granny low, PTO, blah, blah, blah. Don't know a whole lot about it. I heard it. This was in a truck a couple years ago. Really rough square body. It was super cheap. I went over, looked at it, thought I might need it. It was super rough. Thought, I don't need it. It run good though, blah, blah, blah. Then later, these guys, same guys had a dump truck for sale. Same power plant. I ended up buying the dump truck. They kind of threw this in on the deal because the dump truck had some noise in the transmission. I think it was in the clutch. Anyways, I sold it. Ended up with this motor tranny. Not something I really wanted. Usually I like to run V8s. But like I say, ran good. Want to just kind of use up all this stuff because I feel like it's free. No distributor, no carburetor, no alternator. So like I say, I haven't heard it run for a while. I would like to. I remember it being good though. So that's the plan for this episode. Get her popped into there. But if you haven't checked out, we've got our chassis. We did that on the last episode. 13-inch Z, F3, 1950 Ford. So it's like a 3/4, 1-ton chassis, whatever. Really didn't want it either. It was kind of a marketplace deal. I bought a bunch of other parts that's kind of come in on the deal, blah, blah, blah. I took it because whatever, if you offer me something for free, I'll take it. But that's kind of the way this situation was. And, you know, is what it is. We're making something cool out of it. The cab, same situation. It was kind of going to be yard art. We've boned out everything good off of it. For the last couple builds, Pearl, RATSTOCK, we've taken out the dash, we've taken out everything, doors, blah, blah, blah. It needs a firewall, it needs a floor. So it's kind of on the rougher side, and I basically consider that free because we've got all of our value out of it that we needed. And, you know, anyways, I think, like I say, for this episode, we're going to pop that baby off. It needs the floor and the firewall anyways, so we'll just cut it out later. We'll build it around this. So I think we'll just go ahead and get that baby plopped in there, get her mounted up, get her running hopefully, and maybe even get like the drive line and all that stuff done, and then we'll just make that fit around it. So I think that's the plan. Enough yakking. I'm going to set you guys up, and we're going to readjust the chain on that, see if we can't get the old Deathmobile to wobble that thing in there and slap her down. All right, we got her scooted in here, kind of got her centered up where I like it. We got the transmission about 1/4 of an inch taller than the chassis. So the chassis is still the lowest point, but yeah, so everything's kind of down as far as it can go. We still got decent space in between the front axle and the front of the engine, the oil pan. I definitely don't think it's gonna, you know, travel that much. We had to end up knocking out the rivets on the original motor mounts here. I think we'll probably end up also deep sixing this this cross member here also, and probably putting like a tube or something across the front. That way we got just a little bit more room for a radiator, kind of trim off our front of our frame and all that good stuff. But motor mounts look like it's gonna be pretty easy. I got a whole bunch of that. Is that like 1.1/8 maybe square stock? A bunch of those little pieces. They were at the scrap yard last time I went, so I picked them up. So we'll probably try to fit something off of here because these unbolt. I don't know. We're gonna go off of one of those two, just kind of weld in some solid mounts. Same in the rear. This rear rubber mount's kind of left the chat. but the steel's still there, it's still on bolts, all that good stuff. So I think we'll just take another piece of this and throw her in the bender, kind of give her a little bit of, you know, connect her up to the frame. Motor tranny should be done pretty quick. So I think that's the next plan. Let's do it. Just like that, we got a transmission mount. Ended up not needing the bent one after we got her sliced and diced and put down in there. Just needed a straight piece, so whatever, you know, looks can be deceiving sometimes. Anyways, decided to kind of weld her up, be done with it. Figure if we got to pull the tranny, I mean, kind of go up and over it or whatever. And really, it wouldn't be that big of a deal to just kind of slice this back out and make it whatever, deal with it then. Hopefully we don't ever have to pull it, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's kind of in, done, welded up, whatever. I think we're gonna move on to the front. I've been thinking about this. I would kind of like to keep the clamshells just because they're at an angle, and if we want to go to pull the engine, it's gonna make it a lot easier getting it out. These are kind of like at an inward angle. It's gonna be difficult. So I think we're gonna weld something, probably that bent piece that we messed up, on here and up to the chassis, and move on to getting the engine done. So let's do it. Eh? What do you think? It turned out pretty good. Not bad, not bad. I plan on, you know, we'll trim off these ears and stuff like that, make it look a little prettier. But it's in for now. Motor, trans, you know, we're just in the mock-up stage for now. Trying to make everything work, so we'll move on to the next thing. All right, I think next we'll move on to the old drive shaft. This is like out of the S10, two-piece with our carrier. That's sweet as factory. This got a slip joint, but the factory one, I can show you guys later, it's only like half the size of this. So I just, I know I'm planning on dumping the clutch a lot, so why not try to throw a big drive shaft in there? So that's the plan. We're gonna get this U-joint and this yoke off. I think I'm gonna need some combination joints, and then we're gonna have to shorten both shafts. But that's how it works. For you guys that haven't done this style before, it's got the plastic lock rings in it. So this is kind of how you got to do them factory. You got to heat them up and melt that plastic out. I don't know if you've seen the last one, kind of wormed out of there once it got hot enough. You'll see on this one. We get her hot, it'll start worming out of there, and then that's how you know she's ready to go. And then the new, this is how you know it's factory. The new U-joint will have a metal clip. They only do this from factory, so it's kind of fun fact for the day, I guess. See how that one's starting to inch out? Get her just a little warmer and she'll just start blowing out of there. This one's coming out. There you go, right there. Look at that. That's the factory lock ring. Just some plastic. And right there, you can see the plastic lock ring. All right, we're gonna put the drive shaft on pause for a minute. We're waiting on some U-joints to get ordered. hopefully be here this afternoon. So we're gonna move on to the front next, I guess. And we're waiting also on the distributor, hopefully be here tomorrow. And I think that's about all we need to get it running. But we're gonna go ahead and get the radiator done anyways. That needs done anyhow. So we're gonna go ahead and knock this cross member out, get it out of the way, get the radiator mounted, and then get a new front cross member in here, and then we can kind of cut off all this front end, get the front end looking better, and then we can do headlights, radiator, grill shell. There's quite a bit we can do on the front once we get that done. So let's do it. Easy, easy. Got her knocked out of there. Done. Almost forgot to weld that bad boy in, but she's in there. Yeah, looking good though. Mustang radiator is what we're gonna use. This is out of our '69 Mustang. If you guys didn't go check out that build, I mean, we painted it. We did all kinds of cool stuff to that. Put a fancy aluminum radiator in it though. I don't remember anything being wrong with this one. That was a V8 car, so why wouldn't it cool this? And worst case, Mustang radiator is usually like the most affordable hot rod radiator, usually kind of my go-to. So if it is, you know, if it does, you know, crap out on us, it'll already be built for, you know, another one. Easy kind of rebolt in deal. So once we get that done, then we'll go ahead and do the front cross member. But let's go ahead and get that radiator mocked up and in. Yeah, what do you guys thinking? The front end sure looking sharp, huh? I like the frame, you know, finished out like that. Turned out really nice. I had a couple different ideas. I was gonna do, instead of the cross member underneath the radiator, I was gonna do like a little V out here, like a bumper. Originally, I was gonna do like a piece of 3-inch tubing across there, but then I thought it was too far away, and I don't know. I think this turned out the best, to be honest. I think it looks pretty good. Really like it from the side and everything. They're all rounded off and everything. And the radiator support, the cross member there, that's all welded in solid. So, you know, the front of our frame's got a nice rigid spot. But yeah, that's, I think it looks clean, super clean. I like it. Time we get a grill shell on there and stuff like that, it'll look good. So, yeah, I think next, I got one of our U-joints earlier. They brought out a few. At least one of them worked. I think I'm gonna have to go to the parts store. I need to figure out like radiator hoses, stuff like that. It's kind of a me thing, you know. You really can't order that stuff. You just got to go put hands on it and figure out what you can't figure out there. So maybe you have to help them out with that U joint, whatever. But anyways, long story short, we're gonna we got one U joint in. We're gonna go ahead and start working on the drive shaft. I was gonna save this cross member, but honestly, after looking at this looks so clean. I think we're just gonna knock this cross member out because this one's just a hair from being in the right position. It literally just hangs off this back side. I was gonna make something off there, but then I just think ultimately, like, I know you're never gonna see it once the body's on, but for my peace of mind, I think I'm just gonna throw a new nice piece of cross member in there right where we need it. Throw some bolts, that'll be done, and then tomorrow we can just kind of mess with the rear half of the U-joint, hopefully. Yeah, moving on, let's go. Back at it. I went ahead and drilled the holes and bolted up the carrier. That's done. Oh, messing around with some radiator hoses. We're boning out an old LS out there. And the lower radiator hose made a good upper for this one. Kind of had to cut a little bit off each end, make it work. Waiting on some lower radiator hose options. Waiting on a U-joint. I went in and pulled the rear shaft. You know, just kind of messing around. I'm thinking this morning we'll go ahead and get the battery mounted. I found an old tray, and I also got a couple gas tank options. I was hoping the bigger one was gonna fit on the belly here, but definitely not gonna work. So it looks like we're gonna make that little one work. So let's get the battery done first, and then we'll move on to the tank. All right, bunch of different options on where we can put it, but I'd like to keep it on the passenger side, just because our starter's on this side, keeps our battery cable nice and short. Just simple, anyways. So I'm thinking, pop her right down here. The body is gonna come down to the chassis. So is the box. So it's gonna make it kind of difficult, but I'm thinking if we ever had to, we could kind of hop that one side up on a curb, or a block of wood or something, sneak underneath if we needed to, you know, jump start it or something like that, or get to the battery on the side of the road or what have you. Hopefully we never have to deal with that, but you got to think of that kind of stuff when you're doing this. How can you access it with minimal tools typically? Just usually a set of jumper cables. So hopefully, you know, right here we can kind of get underneath of it. That's what I'm saying. I think I'll just stick a piece of that on there, weld it, and then knock that off and just kind of weld it to the bottom. You know what I mean? Keep it simplistic. I think that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna use that piece right there. Alright, battery situation I think figured out. Gas tank, got this little guy, I don't know, 8-10 gallon. Looks, yeah, it looks pretty clean inside. So, I don't know where I got it, but I got it. So, hopefully it's good. I don't really know nothing about it, to be honest, but it looks good. So, we're going to drop it right back in here, I think. It's just going to slip right down in there just fine. But these overload brackets are in the way, and obviously we don't need any of that. I think we're probably going to take the overload pack off. So I'm going to go ahead and knock these out of the way, and a nice metal tank. We should be able to just weld onto it and make some brackets. So let's do it. Yeah, what do you guys think? Tank's fitting pretty slick. I got like a finger on each side. I want to keep it kind of, I guess, flush with the chassis. We can always extend the filler up, which I know we're going to have to actually for the box. But I'm just thinking I don't want any box structure to be in the way of the tank. And I mean, I guess what's it hurt, you know? So we're just going to go flush basically. We're down just a little bit. Anyhow, got a little bit of this angle iron left from the old radiator. I got like a foot here left, so I'm thinking we make like 3 mounts, you know, kind of one per side on the bottom side of the chassis though, that way we can remove the tank, and one in the back here in the middle off this cross member. So should be pretty simple. I don't think we need much more than that. Be like 3 bolts, pop her out real quick. Maybe we'll just weld the nuts on the top side. That way it's just bing, 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 done. I think that's what we'll do. So, yeah, let's do her real quick, knock her out, gas tank will be done. Not bad, huh? Got everything welded up, I think, pretty much. We'll probably come back in with a plows or grinder or whatever and kind of, you know, pretty the mount up a little bit whenever we pull it out. But got everything welded, so it's just 4 bolts. Boom, drop them, tank drops, done, simple. I think the filler, you know, we'll just trim that top off and, you know, we can extend that up however tall we want. Should be pretty easy with like a piece of exhaust tubing or something. We can do that after the, you know, box floor is going, so we know how high we need to be. But anyways, that project's done. Moving on. I think I might grab the torch and, you know, slap off some of this overload pack and kind of leaf pack and stuff. I don't know. We got a few other things we can do. Waiting on another U-joint. So, yeah, it's just been a deal. Anyways, moving on. Not bad. If I wanted to have new U-bolts made, you know, I would have just taken the U-bolts off, taken them off. And if I was going to do that, I'd shorten up the leaf pack, to be honest. I even thought about torching part of the leaf pack off just so it would ride a little better. But, you know, honestly, we'll worry about that when we get to it, I guess. If we want to, we can always do that later. But at least for now, that garbage is out of the way. So, moving on. I think we got a U-joint. Let's do that. Yeah, here's the deal. We're like days and like, I bet 10, maybe 15 U-joints deep. In the parts store, they're trying. I've been in there. I mean, we've been doing measurements. We've been trying. It's tough to come up with this super narrow to wide combination. And we had to kind of part out U-joints. We've got 2 different U-joints to make this one, because we couldn't get one with the right size caps. Long story short, what I'm saying is it's been a lot of work just to get this close. And I just, like I've laid my own eyes on all the catalogs and stuff, so I'm pretty confident, and this is kind of my option. I don't know, what do you guys do? We're not getting the inside clips in. That's the problem, you know? What do you guys think? I'm thinking we just grind these off a little bit. Definitely know that's not the right way to do it, but I think it'll work just fine. I don't know. Let me know what you guys do in this situation. But I think that's what we're going to do in my situation. We'll find out if it's going to work together, I'm sure. Hate it, but it's where we're at. Well, I hit her with the old precision mill there and got her, you know, basically got her CNC down. She's in, working good. Clips are on. I don't know, I think it's just good enough. Time to shorten it. Finally, thing whooped my butt. I didn't realize it had a keyway in there. So I messed around, tried driving it on. Yeah, that, you know, it worked like you expected. Anyhow, we're getting down to the scary part, you know, I mean, it's really not though. You try, so basically, I got our slip joint in there, especially with a style like this, with a slip joint. We've got, what, 6 inches of travel? So I gave myself an inch, brought this guy an inch out, and that kind of gives us enough room for suspension to travel. Suspension, probably not going to travel, you know what I mean? Got this bad boy cleaned up. Usually these are just a little bit longer. Some of them, you know, obviously are shorter like that. Got that bad boy all cleaned up though, ready to go. Kind of marked where I want to do it. So it's best just to use kind of like a wider tape and go all the way around it. That gets you, I've found, the straightest around a pipe, you know what I mean? And a wider tape just kind of seems to make it a little straighter anyways. So hope that's making sense. I'm going to cut it. We'll tap that in. Usually they fit nice and tight, so hopefully it stays pretty square. We're going to try to cut this nice and square, get that butted up in there, weld her up, drive shaft done, bolt her up, finished. Move on to the next thing, you know what I mean? Yeah, she's not playing very nice. She's got a little bit of a swell to her here on this yoke. And I guess if we really get to looking at it, so does this one. So from the factory, I'm guessing they press her together, you know? Which I'm sure they had some fancy, you know, contraption that did that real nice. I got her marked out because I want to keep her U-joints in line. It's kind of the way they've got it from factory too. All the U-joints are in line. So I want to keep that, you know, going. So I got her marked out where I want it. The plan is I'm going to heat this end up here cherry red, and then we're just going to get the hammer and a block and pop her in that way. So that'll kind of give a little bit. Think that'll work? Let's do it. Oh man, guys, camera totally boned out on us. Froze up like halfway through. It worked out slick though. Look how well that turned out. Man, I'm super bummed we lost the footage on that. Oh well, I guess. But anyways, I got her heated up, pounded on, worked out good. I mean, it worked out really good to be honest. I'm gonna weld that up. I mean, that looks perfecto. Let's burn her in. Well, I'll be darned. Look at that. We got us a drive shaft. That's pretty sweet. Worked out good. Moving on. All right, next plane of attack, I think, is pretty well to the point where I'd like to fire it up. You know what I mean? We got the distributor over there in that mess. Just come in, plug wires, all that good stuff. So we need to kind of start with that, basically. So we need to get a starter on it. I don't have the original starter for it. And the one the parts store is calling for is like 80 bucks. Oof, don't want to go down that road if you don't have to. So I got a couple different options. This one looks right. Got maybe 2 more options. So I'm going to mess around with the starter, see if I can get something to work. And then we'll move on to the old distributor. Alrighty, finally got a starter. So bolted up, works. I'm thinking first order of business, want to get the distributor in. Thinking we probably ought to run just a quick health check on the old engine. So we're going to just kind of pop the old plugs out and get this old coil out of the way. And we're going to do a quick compression test on it just to, you know, see how the old engine's looking. And then we'll get her up on number 1. Pop that old distributor in. Hopefully get her fired up yet. Well, got the distributor in. Got her set in there on top dead center, number 1. I can't find a timing mark anywhere on the harmonic balancer. So I don't know. We'll have to do a little more research there, or clean that balancer up. Maybe we'll see it when the radiator's out. I want to be able to have a way to time it, you know, when we're done with it. A little bit of bad news on the old compression test. We're 140, 140, 145, 50. Yeah, 50. That one's no good. And then we can hop up to 150, 155. I don't know. We're gonna find out together, is what I'm saying. I remember it running good. 50 though, 50 is no good. I don't know. Let's find out, let's keep going. Looks like the fuel pump went there, so we're gonna have to, you know, make something to cover that up so it's not spewing out oil. Plug wires, I guess, are just like LS plug wires. I don't know, should work. Plugs all look good, everything else looks good other than that. I got a carburetor over there we're gonna slap on it. Hopefully soon we'll be seeing if she's gonna purr. Got the spark plugs on, or the wires, I guess. The LS truck wires. I don't know what they were thinking in that kit. They didn't work at all. So I got a hodgepodge of old junkers on there, but I think it'll, ooh man, just dropped that washer. It'll get the job done. Now I gotta dig that out. I got this quick little fuel line. I'm gonna fab on there. Dig out that washer. All right, fuel situation taken care of. That's our messy plug wire situation. I think the only thing we got left before we can start it is need to make a little block off plate for that fuel pump. So I got one for a small block. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it, and then we can just fill in this hole. I don't know, seems easiest to me. Let's do it. Well, I decided, heck with it, cleaned it up. We'll weld it up later. Just mask it off with some masking tape. And let's see if we can't get this baby fired up, you know what I mean? Worst case, we might be pulling this out and V8 in it, I don't know. I sure hope it runs decent. Just keep oil from just gushing out. Yeah guys, filling up the old petrol tank there. She's hey, she's doing the job though. We're getting gas though, that's the thing. Oh, look at that. We're getting gas. Woo, baby, I'm excited. Is she gonna just fire right up? I don't know. What do we think, guys? Oh, we gotta hook up power to the coil. Nothing's gonna work without that. All right, now let's see what happens. Got power to the coil. Let's see. Woo! That was not what I expected. Fired right up. I mean, what the heck? Okay. Okay, we fired right up and then we're done. So it was just a teaser. Ooh, we got fuel just a dripping. Why we got so much fuel dripping? That's probably what we got going on. We're not getting spark. Well, our coil wire fell off. Well, come on now. What about now? Alright. Over here messing around thinking I got it overfueled and I just can't wire right. Alright, let's try it again. Is it gonna run? Woo! Battery about fell off. Oh man. We're out of gas. Hey, it revved though for a minute. I think it was a little overfueled. I don't know. Let's put more fuel in it. Alright, we're full on the old petrol again. Let's see if she'll idle and rev. I don't know. Again. She don't sound too bad though. What do you guys think? We had up to 60 pounds of oil pressure leaking out the side. I don't know, I'm pretty happy with it. Well guys, I'm super stoked. Appreciate y'all watching thus far. We've gotten a lot done the last couple days. I mean, really, we're doing pretty good. Them rear wheels are turning, so I mean, we're gonna be able to go. We need to, you know, we obviously got a lot more we need to do. But man, am I excited for this week. It runs. Like I say, appreciate you guys watching along. Like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Let's fire it up one more time. See you guys on the next one.